Hey, what's going on YouTube? So we are back with another deck list review for a channel member. Only have one channel member so far, so if you are considering, go ahead and check out the membership button below. So members can submit to me once per month a deck list for me to review, and I will do it on the channel and go ahead and go through it, talk through it. Let me know what your goals are with the deck, what event you're trying to play in, and I will do my best to work with you to put together something decent. Okay, so this month my channel member sent in a Runick Spright list, and this is a pure Runick Spright list. It appears, and with the intention of playing it at regionals in the next week or two. So I'm going to go ahead and go through this list a little bit. There's definitely some things that we can change here to improve it, and yeah, we'll talk through it best we can. So starting off, this is the list we have. It's pure Runick Spright, and as far as I know, we're going to keep it pure Runick Spright. I know there is live twin Spright, there is for hire Spright, but you know, because it's sent in as Runick Spright, we're going to try to keep it as Runick Spright. To you, Evan, who sent in the list, if you are interested in probably changing to live twin Spright, is probably the easier of the variants to add in. I would consider doing that, and if you want to do that, go ahead and check out pretty much any Joshua Schmidt live twin Spright list of late, and that's really a good starting point, and you could probably just go from there without changes. But for this goal, we are going to try to keep it at Runick Spright without any other packages, and keep it pure and simple, and just with Runick's sprites and non-engine. So let's go ahead and look through the list you have here. So you sent in 3 Ash and 3 Imperm as your hand traps. Let me just rearrange this a little bit. And then for the Spright package, we have 2 Jet, 1 Red, 3 Blue, 1 Carrot, 2 Starter, and 1 Double Cross. And then for the other non-engine, we only have 2 Book of Eclipse, and then it's just a lot of Runick cards. We have 1 Golden Droplet, 3 Freezing Curse, 3 Tip, 1 Dispelling, 3 Slumber, 3 Flashing Fire, 2 Smiting Storm, 3 Destruction, 1 Allure, and 2 Fountain. Okay, so we have a ton of Runick cards, and you know, at this level, you're closer to Runick Stun than you are to Runick than to like a standard Spright Runick. So we're gonna have to make a judgment here, and we're definitely gonna shift this a little bit more towards Spright Runick instead of Runick Stun. But we'll talk about it. Okay, let's go on to the extra. So we have 1 Jerry, 1 Munin, 2 Hugin, and then we have 1 Zeus, 1 Mannequin Cat, 2 Gigantic, 1 Cat Shark, and then for the links we have 1 Underworld Goddess, 1 Avramax, 1 Unicorn, 1 IP, and 2 Nightmare Phoenix. Very interesting. And then for the side, 3 Gamma Seal, 2 Fenrir, 2 Talent, 2 Thrust, 3 Evenly, 3 D-Barrier. Okay, so this is our starting point, and we have some changes to make here. So pretty much there's a few things in the main deck that I think we need to cut. Because they have no business being in anything but Runick Stun, and that first of all is Runick Allure. So we need to get rid of Runick Allure, and that because that really doesn't contribute anything to our end board. We're not trying to deck our opponent out, we're trying to outgrind them and eventually attack for game. So unless you're trying to deck your opponent out, then you should not be playing the Spright cards. You should be playing Floodgates, like Skill Drain, like There Can Be Only One, or stuff like that, because you know, Runick Allure, its only use is to deck your opponent out. It can't even use a summon effect or anything like that. And then we'll just stick with the Runick engine. So of course 2 Fountain, 3 Destruction, and then 3 of all the good ones. Smiting Storm, you only need 1 at most. We are shooting for 17 or so quick plays. So that would leave us with also cutting the golden droplets here, and with that will get us 17 quick play Runick spells. That's like the golden number to shoot for. So that would be 3, 6, 7, 10, 13, 16, 17. 17 quick plays, and I think that's going to be good for the Runick package. For the non-engine, we have 2 Book of Eclipse here. We're going to cut those as well out of the main deck in this particular deck, because you know, it's a little rough. It's a little rough when we don't have a battle phase to clear our opponent's set stuff, especially when going second, which means they will flip up and draw a bunch of cards, and we are not going to get any closer to game. So Book of Eclipse in this particular main deck is not going to be that great. Similarly, Infinite Impermanence is not going to be that great. We expect to be drawing cards on our opponent's turn, and imperms are not going to be live. If we draw imperms and we have a field, then it's not really going to do much for us. Plus, if we're going first, imperms, we already have freezing curses, so it's kind of like double dipping. And in this format, to be honest, imperm is not even that great. It's bad against Tier, it's bad against Unchained, it's bad against Labyrinth, for example. So yeah, I don't think imperm is really going to give us very much value. I do think Ash is good enough to warrant playing here. And then also, it's interesting you decided to play Double Cross instead of Smashers, but I think Smashers is going to be the way to go. So we're going to go ahead and chuck that in now over the Double Cross. Kind of same thing. I want Smashers to be live first or second. Double Cross is only really live going first, and it's a little bit rough. So we're going to go ahead and chuck a Smashers in here. Again, this is your deck list. Don't forget, it's up to you. So if you really want that Double Cross over the Smashers, that's your choice, but I think the Smashers is going to be the way to go. Okay, so from here we're down to 32 cards in the main. We do have a bunch of space to add in some things, and what I first noticed is that we are a bit low on monsters, and you don't really want to go overboard on monsters, but I still think that it would be valuable to play just a little bit larger of a Spright engine. So we are going to play the third Spright Jet, in my opinion, just because we're going to be running out of these cards fairly quickly, and we are going to just want full access to our engine. So let's play the full 3 Jet, 3 blue, 1 red, 1 carrot for the Spright cards, and then I don't know if you have access to this card in time, but I think Hyperia is a great card. I would just play it at 2 here. It's like the best normal summon Runick Spright can have. Just normal summon, draw 1. If you notice what decks Runick is played with, it's decks that can draw within the other engine. So we're talking Live Twin can draw with the Live Twin links. For Hire can draw with Fulgo. Plunder can draw with Blackbeard. And we need something to draw with Spright. So 1 to 2 Hyperia. If you open it, great. If you don't open it, you can go Gigantic into the Hyperia for another draw. And you don't really realize how valuable these draws are if you're playing the Runick package. Sometimes you just need a little bit more access into the Runick cards, and yeah, that's what Hyperia is going to give us. And from here, I think we can go into we have 5 cards left. I think we're going to go 5 cards of non-engine, and what I actually really like in pure Runick Spright is going to be Lava Golem. Especially in this format, Lava Golem just rips apart the Unchained matchup. It outs the like a double Labyrinth play that is fairly common in the meta right now, and other, like, if they have 2 Labyrinths set up, you are gonna have a hard time outing those with just your Runick stuff, because they can be destroyed, can be targeted, and so forth. So I think having Lava Golem in the main deck, even though yes it sucks going first, you can still discard it with Hugin if it's dead, but I think having this as an option to get rid of things is going to be very important. And then the last card, similarly, to get rid of things that are difficult to out, is going to be 2 copies of Triple Tactics Talent. This serves a double purpose. It can out things that are a problem, and it gets you more draws. So nothing really to dislike there. We're going to chuck in 2 talents here, and that will round out the main deck as a quick fix to what you had submitted. Again, if you can manage to find the Live Twin cards and learn how to play them, I do recommend that over this particular just pure Spright build right now, but I think that this is a decent start at a adjustment to what you sent in. All right, let's move on to the extra deck. So first thing I notice is you're going to need 3 Hugin in this deck. Even if you don't have to use the effect every time you summon it, but you do need consistent access to level 2 monsters. So we are going to find space for the Hugin, and the first thing that easily cut is the second Nightmare Phoenix. There's only a need for 1 of those for sure. So let's go ahead and start with this. And now we have Zeus, Mannequin Cat, Gigantic Spright, and Cat Shark. Okay, so Cat Shark is okay if you can finally go for game. So maybe that's valuable, but I don't know. It's okay. And then Mannequin Cat, you don't really play any targets for the Mannequin Cat. So I think the Mannequin Cat is going to come out right now. Unless you go into like Hyperia, which is like okay, but I don't think it's really valuable here. So we're going to stick to more so, I think, the Link monsters here. And probably for now, cut the Cat Shark and the Mannequin Cat. And I think if we want to stick with the Xyz, we want to go to Onibimaru as something to kind of get rid of problem cards. And then even maybe, if I can think about it, maybe even like the Mosquito. Like, you're going to need to be able to steal games. So if you go into the number 2 Mosquito guy, is it number 2? Yeah. Let's see. I think this might be okay. Place 1. Inflict damage equal to the attack of one monster with a hallucination counter. Yeah, so I think like if you give your opponent a lava golem and then just Mosquito Ninja attack into that, like that's an extra win condition, which might be valuable to you. So I think we're gonna go ahead and chuck that in here, and then we are missing a Downard to go into the Zeus, but I mean, that's up to you. We're not going to be doing very much attacking with our Xyz monsters. Like if we actually get a battle phase and attack with it, we're going to hope to game them right there, because yeah, going into Zeus is going to be a little bit difficult. But if you have space for a Downard, let's go ahead and think about where we can put that in. But otherwise, the Phoenix, IP, Unicorn, Avramax, and Underworld Goddess are going to be all right. So yeah, I do like Avramax as kind of just like a wall to put up. A lot of people just are going to have a hard time outing that. And then I do like Underworld Goddess for a way to just clear out problem stuff. So yeah, I think this extra deck is pretty good here. And I don't think I would change much of anything. I do like the Munin because you're probably going to be going into time a lot with this deck. But you do have Lava Golem for burn already, so that's good. But I think this is a solid starting place for an extra deck here. Onto the side, because we're playing the Lava Golems, the Gamma Seals are not going to be that important. Fenrirs are going to be okay. I do like the Thrusts. I mean, it's a fantastic card. I don't really like evenly matched in the Runick builds because you don't have a battle phase a lot of the time. But I guess if you're going second and open up the Runick, open up the evenly, then it's okay. But if you draw into the evenly before like the battle phase, you're probably not going to have a battle phase. So I don't know, it's kind of up to you. I might even consider cutting this for something else. Let's go ahead and we're gonna think about cutting these D barriers as well, just down to 1, because we are playing Thrust. And if you have a third Thrust, I would really recommend doing that here. And then we're gonna play also an Eradicator. An Eradicator is something we can go into off of Thrust, and it's something we can tribute off a gigantic Spright with a Hugin underneath, which is very easy to make relatively. So we're going to go ahead and play the Eradicator for the Thrust, and it could just win us a game outright if we know what we're playing against. Fenrir in the side is a little bit suspicious. Like I don't know what you're siding this in for. Like, why aren't you maining it if you want to play it? So I think we're going to cut that as well in favor of better side deck cards. Let's go ahead and think about what we can actually put in. I think Herald of the Abyss, we still need a very consistent way to out the Expertly Noir, and since we're already playing Thrust, we're going to go ahead and put the Herald of the Abyss in. We have 2 talents already. We don't need the third one in the side deck anymore, so we can cut that out. So I think from here, we're looking pretty good. Now we just have a few options for monsters to put in. If you have access to Kurikara, I think that might be a solid option for the side deck. I don't really know what you have access to at the moment or within the next week, but you can go ahead and consider that. And then we can also, let me think about really quick what we can put in here. Like the Gamma Seals were nice. Lava Golems, these are for going second. So if we go first, we're going to want to side in stuff for going first. maybe it is worth playing the full 3 Eradicator or full 3 D-Barrier for going first. Let me think about that really quick. But I don't like, things aren't really sided for going first very much. We definitely don't want to play Anti-Spell. We definitely don't want to play, like, are there any floodgates we can play? Maybe there can be only one, but no, we want to go Hugin and blue into Gigantic, which you can't do under there can be only one. Trying to think here of what we can play. We're going to want some back row removal, I guess. Yeah, so because we're already playing the Thrust, we're going to go for the Harpy's Feather Duster. That's going to be kind of nice. And then probably even a, like, Lightning Storm. Whoops. Lightning Storm to just have more board breakers, because it's really hard to outboards without a battle phase, so we want as much board clear as possible without the battle phase, and that's going to be really nice. So yeah, the 2 Lightning Storms, the Duster, and then whatever other board breakers we want to get into. I think Kurikara is pretty clutch if you can afford 3 of them, or if you have 3 of them. This is probably where I would end the side deck. Siding in for going first, we can just put in the Thrust, D-Barrier, and Eradicator. Let's see. I'm not sure if I like that the most. I think we go into just 1 evenly match again off of the Thrust. Nah, yeah, I think that's better. And then we'll stick with whatever going first card you like better, either D-Barrier or Eradicator. I think probably Eradicator is going to be more impactful, because D-Barrier will stall someone for a turn, but like this deck is not going to kill someone in a turn because you have battle phase skip. So I think Eradicator is going to be a much better card here. And yeah, I think with that being said, we're going to stop it right there. So this is the revised version. 3 Ash, 3 Lava Golem, 2 Talents as our non-engine, and then a whole bunch of Spright cards, 2 Hyperia, 2 Starter, 1 Smashers, and then a whole bunch of Runicks. In the extra, we bumped up Hugin to 3. We swapped out what the Xyz monsters are. I'm not so sure. This is where I'm a little bit sketchy with my inexperience with Runick Spright. I don't know how valuable Cat Shark is going to be when you probably don't have a battle phase, but I think if you want some kind of gimmicky attack-based Xyz, number 2 is probably just better, especially with the Lava Golem on board. So yeah, we have that going on, and then we have just the standard links. In the side deck, Kurikaras, if possible. If you don't have those, maybe even like, I don't know, Alpha Master of Beasts is kind of nice. You can bounce back your own Lava Golem. I'm a huge fan of Alpha, so we can always do that. Alpha, the Master of Beasts in the side if you don't have the Kurikaras, maybe even instead of the Kurikaras. So you can just go special summon Lava Golem, special summon Alpha, bounce back your Lava Golem, and you can recycle that shit. So that's really nice. And then just the whole Thrust package. If you have Thrust, you gotta just take advantage and play all the good stuff. Lightning Storms evenly, Lightning Storm over evenly because you might not have a battle phase. So yeah. And then Herald of the Abyss for the Pearly, and then Duster and Eradicators for going first. All right, so hopefully that's helpful. If anyone's interested in this type of deck profile review, let me know. Consider becoming a channel member, $5 a month, and I will review one of these deck lists for you in a video. And yeah, with that, we'll catch you later. Thanks, guys.